So very warm welcome to the important guests that we have. I'll introduce them after a minute or so. We have a very important. We were supposed to have three guests, but one has not yet attended it. The reason being that she has a poor network. Once she's over to the session, I'll just add her. We are going to talk about the women empowerment issue and with the gender issue also. But then before going to that, before going to the session and opening it up, I'll just make few important things that this is purely an academic session. We hopefully we are entitled to have our opinions reserved, but then we also must respect each other's opinions. We must agree until we are disagreeable, until we are not disagreeable rather. So we have two people yet as of now on the show. One is Khushbu, I'll introduce her later. Second is Anam Khan, I'll also introduce her. But before that, the important thing about them is that they don't call spade, they go to the extent of calling it a shovel. So, importantly, I would like to introduce first Khushbu. Khushbu Mattu, who has been to the big cities of the country, has first-hand insights about the status of women across the nation. Then she is also a writer, a painter, and presently consulting editor of Network 18, and has her own public policy and studies foundation called India First Foundation. That's a small introduction about her. Then we have Anam Khan. She is an entrepreneur and an outspoken lady, and has a large, social media imprint. People always love to listen to her, and get insights, fresh insights, whatever is happening around the corner and around the social media networks. So the issue with us today that we are going to discuss is that women empowerment. I hope that you had gone through the feminism as a movement or feminism as an ideology. Hopefully, you will contribute to this session by your important insights. Largely, the issue will cater to certain important things that, in your personal experience, how has it been in your mental corridors? That what does women empowerment mean to you? I'll
Hmm.
first I'll just go over to Khushbu to have the first remarks on the subject. So first of all, I'd like to welcome both of you. So thank you for coming, and over to Khushbu now.
Thank you, Mehraj, and hi, Anam. Um
Hi.
it's always a pleasure to talk on women issues, something that a lot of us are vocal. Um, so, if I have to give my inputs on women empowerment, what I think is that we have evolved into a much better society as compared previously compared to what we were, and women will be empowered when they are financially secure and they are independent. They are able to live independently. That option of not being dependent on anyone or for their financial well-being or mental well-being. Uh, when we take out that, when we look at that factor, I think that is a very big empowerment in itself, and a lot of issues, and a lot of times when women are really um, majboor ho jati hain, they to compromise with the situation and to just live in the lives that they otherwise want to not be a part of, and they want to change. So women should be able to work for their own betterment, and if they do that, they're empowered. If they can't, they should be. We should make them, as a society, help them settle, resettle, and be happy, just like men.
Thank you for your initial remarks, Khushbu. But then it's the financial security that's important to your mind, and it's one of the important aspects of how women needed to uplift, or we have as a society have a responsibility to acknowledge that this is an issue that pertains to equality rather than uniformity. Because at the end of the day, we have to respect that society also. It's for the larger interest of the society that we give every voice a chance and empowerment so that it's heard, so that everybody carries equal weightage no matter what. For something that we'll talk later, over to Anam for your initial remarks, Anam.
I agree with Khushbu about economic empowerment of women. women. I think that is very important. I think that's the cornerstone. And in addition to that, I think also enforcing, making sure that women, girls get good primary education, and then obviously good secondary education. They're motivated to study higher. They get a degree, they pursue their education, and then they find whatever's uh, whatever work they want to do. But I think apart from just having economic empowerment, girls and women should be like the focus should be on instilling some amount of education in them, so that like it will not only just give them knowledge, but also this sense of self-worth. And I think that is also very essential, apart from just helping them to get economically empowered. And there are so many schemes, there are so many ways that women can become economically empowered. But I think uske saath, something that is very important is an ecosystem in their families, an ecosystem in the society where they're encouraged, where they're not looked down upon if they're working, whether it is any kind of work, whatever they want to pursue. No kind of job should be considered less in the society. It should not make them feel that they're lesser privileged or something. So the society has a very important role in encouraging women, that they pursue their dreams, that they pursue jobs, that they're considered as equal citizens in the society.
Thank you both for your absolutely insightful initial remarks. I'll just open it up. I have an issue with the this new thing called that armchair feminism. I, as a male, if I'm conducting a show for the for larger interest of the society, and the segment is inclusive of women empowerment, I must not be tomorrow blamed that I'm not going to get giving too much time to my family because I spend lots of time in other social issues. So that having been said, feminism as an ideology has worked from as an ideology to keep us supplying new ideas, new concepts. But then the important thing that most of the feminists today tom is that they are there is a need for the radical shift from being equal to men and from being uniform to men. It doesn't there's a big difference between the two. If feminism per se as an ideology has evolved over the time and has helped people, we cannot say that it's a total 100% women empowerment as of now. The vintage point and the phase of the phase of the history that we are living. But if feminism has not been able to give 100% empowerment to the women, or the world has not yet acknowledged that women is as equal as men, women are as equal as men, but we are not still at zero. We have been able to move the needle from zero to maybe it's at 30, maybe it's at 40, maybe it's at 50%. What do you, Khushbu? Is it like armchair feminism is hurting the larger cause of the feminism?
It's a very generalized term, armchair journalism. Armchair, I'm sorry, I'm a journalist. I have this. Armchair feminism is a very generalized term, but my personal opinion is that sometimes radical radical approach is needed for a change, and not all feminists, like you said, most feminists are, they're very radical, and it sounds negative, but it isn't. Sometimes we do need aggressive measures because all women ask for is equality. And you said we are not at zero, we are at 30 or 40. We are not at 30, 40. We are still maybe at 2 or 3. We are not at 30, 40 at all. For all our women viewers here, and even with Anam, I'm sure she will agree that, uh, all everybody's fighting for is equality. Beach mein sometimes there are miscreants and there are people who want to derail the movement of feminism, or but feminism should not be taken in a negative way. It is not about derailing what men do, or uh, not dignifying men, or not understanding men, or abusing the powers of men, or just disregarding men, or whatever. Feminism is not about that. It is just that in a board meeting, a woman should be heard as equally as a man is heard. A woman should be able to sit comfortably at home or in office, be absolutely free to do what she wants, whether she wants to work or she wants to be a stay at home mom. There are so many aspects to it. It is not that easy to call feminist movement a radical movement, because we have been oppressed. Women have felt, we have our evolution. That is, I was talking about evolution in the first point. We have evolved as a generation. I mean, women have evolved as people who need validation from men for everything they do. Even that is some sort of, it is our mindset that needs to change. I am just saying that let's not completely blanket it as a feminist movement as a bad thing. I mean, we do need some aggressive females out there, otherwise men won't listen.
But then isn't it undermining the efforts that are put in by the men themselves in the larger cause of the
Absolutely not.
women
There are all
empowerment?
kinds of women, all kinds of men in this world.
Hmm.
There are all kinds of people. For any voice of right, there are some people who try to fuel it for their own purposes. But we should not. We should focus on what is needed, what is wanted. A lot of women, majority of women, what they want, feminists, what they want is equality at home, at office, at their workplace, with in their relationships, financially, economically, education wise, like Anam said. I
But
mean,
what
we are just fighting for equality. That is it. And equality is, it can be an aggressive fight sometimes. Why not? If somebody doesn't listen, what would you do?
I'll come back to you on a larger issue of being, is it a matter of justice or power or equality or uniformity? I'll just go back to Anam. Anam, will you share with us that your personal experiences being in the city and moved across the countries or across the states? What's the what's the most important thing that as a society we have to address first, so that we can actually open it up? We will let reforms happen. We will let accommodation and tolerance be the part of our forte as a society without harming the larger interest of the social fabric.
I mean, there are so many things that'll top my list right now. But first, coming back to something as basic as feminism, it is just equal representation of each gender. And I don't think that is too much to ask, you know. So, men crying about that it is a radical movement is really undermining the movement itself.
And
Like,
maybe
and
insecure in some places. Maybe it is about insecurity. Maybe they get insecure when women are now raising their voices. They become insecure because they
but
haven't seen this.
obviously they will get insecure because they've not seen that equal representation, probably
Absolutely.
not in their households, probably not while growing up, probably not while playing with their own peer, so they've not seen that equal representation. So when in a boardroom a woman stands up and wants to make a point during a presentation, men might feel threatened. It's okay, anybody, a woman can also feel threatened by another powerful woman. I mean, that is normal. But saying that this is happening because it is a feminist movement and then undermining the movement, I think that is wrong. And matlab, giving a very negative undertone to feminism, whereas feminism just means that it's equal representation of each gender, and that is basic. And I don't know how we're in 2021 and we're still fighting for that. That is so basic. And like you said, of giving examples in the different cities that I've lived in, I don't know what to say. Like, there's so much on my list, but just letting women be. Just, I mean, if you see a woman, you don't have to ogle at her. If you see a girl going somewhere, I mean, don't make her insecure. That's the least I as a woman can ask. Like, let women be. If a woman wants to choose any profession, or not any profession, wants to pursue education, does not want to pursue, like, let her have that free will of choosing something. Let her be. Let a woman be. I think that will, like, just top my list.
Oh,
That's my everyday ladai.
अच्छा जी. वैसे I'll just tell you one thing that on a personal note, that since you are running a cafe, obviously it's absolutely based on the bottom line that you have equal shares. So you are an example of how equality it has to be, carried out in the society. So thank you for this for these remarks. Over to Khushbu for one thing. See, I'll just narrate some of the important laws legally that we have in our constitution, is that, or even the IP, under the IPC, we have legal provisions. We have lots of laws dealing with the women empowerment, with the rapes, with molestations, with sexual harassments, and we have some of the, it's even a criminal offense. Despite having lots of laws at the display, at the helm, at the threshold, but still we have not been able to give the legal. Rapes are still a norm in the country. Rapes are, I mean, sexual harassment has not yet gone out of the window. Have we legally, do we need to have some more laws, or do we need to improvise when it comes to the legality of this gender issue or women empowerment?
I think before I look at the legal aspect, it is more about objectifying women. The more all of our families, our TV, I mean, our movies, and everywhere women are objectified, the more this will happen. And it's a part of our culture now. If a woman, it's a simple thing like, uh, I don't want to dress up today. I go to office and my male colleagues will tell me, you look sick. What is
I
wrong?
don't
It
put
starts from,
kajal and people ask me if I'm unwell.
yes. So
Yeah.
it starts from there. It starts from there. I don't have to dress up, or Anam doesn't have to dress up for anybody else. Okay. It starts from there. We are seen as objects. This means we are seen as objects.
Oh, yeah, that's true when it comes to the movies, and
And
it
so
comes.
what will laws do if the ghar ki hi char diwari mein there are rapes that are happening? What are laws going to do there? I mean, laws are there only for scaring. Just a second.
So,
I think apart from laws, I think obviously law enforcement is essential. And I mean, if there is that pillar of justice does not exist, I think, you cannot move forward then. So laws obviously are in place and laws are important. But I think apart from that, training at a very young age, like this has to start at, inside households. Like when boys are born, when they're grown up into fine men, those years, those first 20 years, like a lot lies in the hands of the mother and the father, like the
Yeah.
parenting, how they're brought up, how they're taught to respect women, how they see that women in the household are being respected, how they see that their, for example, a boy sees that his sister's value is also considered in the household, or the mother's opinion matters, or the grandmother's opinion matters, like those small things form an idea, a perception of how that boy is supposed to treat other women
L-
also. So
Luckily for, I think, Kashmiri culture, all of us, we are lucky that way that Kashmiri culture is a little advanced, and we do appreciate a woman going out and studying and working. But that is
absolutely.
not the case in the rest of the country. I mean, अभी घूंघट में अभी भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं. See, it is about choice. वो घूंघट में रहना चाहती है कि नहीं, but where she doesn't have a choice, that is where the problem is. See that these बचपन से, like Anam, you said, since childhood, um, these casual sexual jokes,
Slurs,
uh,
yeah.
these regressive taunts that you get at home. Okay, there is a teenage boy and there is a teenage girl. A teenage girl is much more conscious as compared to teenage boy at home. She has to
Yeah.
sit properly. She has a curfew after 6 p.m.
Hmm.
It starts from there, and it is mother's and father's responsibility. And I think it will take maybe 2 generations, and then it course correction will happen, but it needs to start happening.
but yeah, I'll just intervene and here that reason, I'll agree with that objectifying of the women that you both put forward. But the larger issue still is that why don't I side with the radical variant of this feminism? I don't. I'm not here to dislodge or discredit the achievements of the feminism. It still has to be there as an ideology, as a narrative, as a thought process. Nobody here is to discredit that. But the larger issue with the radical strand is that in most of the cases, I mean, not most of the cases, but many cases, we have seen that the wife has accused the husband of sexual harassment, post-marital rapes, and some more unholy things that we say. But then when it comes to courts, the person has been acquitted. still it's not being covered by the media, but then he's not yet socially accepted. His dignity is lost. What to that dignity? Anybody of you is going to respond to this?
I didn't understand your question. You're saying that if, for instance, a woman accuses a man of rape and eventually he gets acquitted by the court, and you're saying that the woman has, so to say, falsely accused him.
Yeah, falsely
But
accused.
that is one in a million cases. Like there will be those black sheep, right? They'll
Right.
always be there. Like ऐसे तो मतलब not only in this movement, in so many other fields, like corruption होता है, बिजली की चोरी होती है. This is one of those. Like this is another uh, black sheep. But that doesn't mean that there is another woman who actually accuses her husband of raping her, so she should be discredited because somebody else created a nuisance somewhere else. And I mean, you don't know under what circumstances this woman would have accused him of. How do you, I mean, I don't know any story like that, like to give you an example. But there are so many layers to, like fighting for justice, for asking for spaces. And I don't know, maybe this could be one of them. I'm not saying ki it is right that you accuse somebody falsely of a crime as big as rape, but without knowing the entire story, I don't think it's correct for us also in this forum to discredit a movement like feminism
No,
because somebody.
nobody is discrediting that. I mean, who are we
Hmm.
to discredit any holy movement? I mean, when it comes to the first wave of feminism back in 19th century, now that second wave, when the radical thought came out, stemmed out of that, then we have third wave of the feminism where it undid most of the things that were promoted by the radical variant of it, and now we are living into the fourth phase of this feminist movement. That's for the moments. Moments come and go, but the bottom line is that we still in our culture, in our society, lack one thing, that's the class of excellence of treating women at par with men. We must not, it's not only about the, it's not the issue of power, it's not an issue of justice, it's also an issue of dignity. Like, I'll cite you my own example. I have a mom, dad, they have not gone to any school, but then my dad was earning, and he did invested a lot in my sisters. They are all employed, but I was last one, so I'm not yet I have not yet got into any job. But still, that's one thing that got inculcated within my mind, is that yes, you have to respect women no matter what. But down the line, one question is that there are episodes, there are events, there are certain circumstances where there are allegations that are false, but they may be, one in the thousand cases or one in the million. Larger question still is
Can't
that,
hear you. Yeah.
am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
now
Correct.
you're audible.
So the connection was actually, I lost the connection. So the next thing that I'll have your take on that, is that what are the ways and means that we need to put as an extra kind of a measures to shelve this movement and let the real women empowerment in the society happen, in Kashmiri society. As I mean, when I say Kashmiri, Jammu Kashmir as a society. Is Khushbu taking up the question?
Yeah. Yeah, Anam, can I start?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you
sure.
start? So, I think we are already on the way. We don't have to launch any actual movement. The movement of equality has already started much before we were born. The movement has started. How we can catalyze the movement is by, like Anam said, we start from our own homes. That is how each one of us can help. That is how the men can help. Men can be a part of this discussion. Why won't men be a part of a feminist movement discussion? So it, and I don't think we are discussing feminist movement here. We are discussing women empowerment
But the
and issues of
women,
gender. Gender.
why did I brought in the feminism? Because we are discussing one leg of the feminism, that's women empowerment. There are other issues, but then we have to first look and try to put it into a
I think the
perspective.
first thing is literacy rate. All women have to, we have to make sure that our women around us, poor people, people we come in contact to, people we can help, we help them get enrolled in education. We help women secure jobs. There should be a reservation for women in offices and in colleges and everywhere, so that what happens, I remember, I was in an engineering college, and there were only 4 girls for 130 boys in my class, and that was Bombay. That wasn't even J&K. So this is the situation in India, or maybe world right now. In technical courses, there are less women. We have to make sure that women are at par, women are equal. And I think in due course of maybe 20 years, we see that, there are more women who make decisions for women. There are not men who are making these laws for women. There are more women who are involved in decisions, both at home and in laws and in offices and everywhere. So I think the process has already started, but education is a very, very big part of it. And like you said, there are people who abuse laws. That happens when a huge chunk of population is involved in something. There will be a few discrepancies. So we should not talk about those cases at all where some fudging happens, or where people are just framing some other. That happens in all sorts of cases. So we should not discuss about that at all. We should discuss that as a movement. What can everyone contribute to make women, मजबूर ना हो कोई औरत, कोई लड़की किसी काम के लिए किसी चीज में मजबूर ना हो बस, या सहमी नहीं हो. I remember I was in 6th or 7th standard. I remember myself at that time being so scared of walking through roads, being so scared that I would get raped at any point, looking at the news and thinking of myself as some frail little some bird or something. I don't know. You know, that happens when around you everybody is so scared, and you see everything on TV, and you don't have support around, and you see other girls get abused by some people in the family or outside, by relatives or non-relatives. You do get. So I don't think what I felt, or what each woman has gone through something or the other, starting from eve teasing. So if all of that stops, I think we will automatically land in colleges and in offices.
Okay, and your Anam, your thoughts on that?
I completely agree with Khushbu on this. Also, yeah, like Khushbu said, that this movement is not starting right now. The fact that Khushbu can be a journalist and I can own a cafe, the credit goes to so many women who fought for this today. Like the
Right.
fact that I can have this space, I can, like drive to my cafe and I can, have my voter ID or, like identity proof, something as basic as that. Women have fought for this. So, we have to acknowledge all of that, obviously, and agree to the fact that we can have these spaces because the feminist movement or an equality movement has started way back, than we can imagine. And from here on, we have to understand, what all are the loopholes already in our system, like Khushbu saying, about eve teasing, about sexual abuse, about domestic abuse, about other things like dowry. There are so many issues, things like that. And equal spaces, equal representation in schools, colleges, government offices, when there is time for policy making, when there's time for law making, in all of those spheres, women should have equal representation. And understand as a society where like where have those loopholes where we can still intervene. And I think that is how we can take the movement forward, especially in Jammu and Kashmir. We have to understand that, obviously I can drive and go to my cafe, but also we have to understand that Taki is in our, it is engraved in our society. And till acknowledge that, and we don't try and sensitize our own families and people we know, people we speak to, and we, I won't say like go and hammer somebody, but like have discourses, make people understand that patriarchy is the root cause of women not having equal access as basic as education,
Absolutely.
job employment or other spaces. We have to have those discussions, and I think that is how we can take this movement forward.
Also, I have a point here. Something came to my mind. We were talking about men feeling threatened about their spaces, spaces, the term that you use is good. That you know what happens. Why do we say that there are more false cases, and we see a lot of domestic violence cases now coming up? It's a good thing. Maybe earlier women were too scared to report, and now when there are too many reportings, then these abusers get scared and they call it a bad movement. A woman voicing her concern, also
Absolutely.
a woman a woman should be free. She should have the right to divorce a man who is an abuser or who has done something wrong or whom she doesn't want to live with. And the process has already started. We know a lot of independent women now who are out of bad marriages, which couldn't have happened earlier, which didn't happen earlier. So it is also a good thing that we see. But somehow I think the society needs to accept these single mothers or these women as, families should be able to accept them, that this is not a bad thing. I think I read it somewhere. A child coming back in a girl child coming back in a क्या बोलते हैं उसको,
Maike.
हाँ, बोलते हैं ना कि अब वापस आओगी तो वो लड़की अगर ज़िंदा ही वापस आए तो अच्छा है। शुक्र मनाओ कि
Absolutely.
वो ज़िंदा ही आ गई है। So I think acceptability is an issue. Accepting a lot of these things, अगर हम accept easily कर लेंगे तो a lot of unhappy people will not, I mean, stay together, and a lot of these irrelevant cases will not happen, I guess, maybe.
See, I do agree with most of the things that you say. You both say, you both have your own, you are entitled to have your own perspective. But then, my one thing was that why don't I subscribe to the endorse even the radical strand is that it was discredited by the women themselves in the third wave. Reason being that it was too unilateral, it was too linear, and then the concepts like patriarchy, sexism, misogyny, and whatnot. Reason being that we are living in a post-truth world, possibly in literature, and then through the postmodernist lens, we have to democratize the feminism itself, or even any ideology. Reason being that if we don't democratize it, it's not representative of the all. See, there's a reason why why I brought this point into the discussion is that the fundamental problem with this radical thing is that we I mean we three people we are talking about this women empowerment and feminism. We are not the full representatives. Yes, we have our own perspectives, but people we are mostly from, like I have my station in the town headquarters. Khushbu is in the city, and Anam is in the city. There are yet lots. There's lots of lots of swath of territory that needs to be yet covered when it comes to village and rural areas. Even the women there don't get attraction that their issues are also important. Once I had a conversation with Anam in her cafe about the issue, I mean, 2 years back. She told me that she has the first, primary insights about it. I'd like to, Anam, you throw some light on that about the issues that women, to your mind, have come across you.
I have forgotten the conversation that time we were having. Can you remind me a little bit? What were we discussing?
It was about the women empowerment. I mean, Namisha also was on board then. We were talking
Hmm.
about women empowerment, and then you
In
may have
rural areas?
in rural areas. You had conducted a survey, I guess, or a research project. You were part of that research project.
Okay, so no, I that was a part of where I used to work earlier. I was a communications specialist earlier, so and I used to work in public health. So that was I was discussing something about that. Uh, I was talking about women issues in rural areas and all the cities and states and districts that I had visited. Pertaining to health, access to health, and there is, I mean, we all know there's no equal access to health services, and for women it is even more less. And I think I was talking about, I can't remember what I was talking about, but I can give a fresh perspective right now. Awareness about menstrual health, family planning,
Yeah,
uh,
true.
access to medical services, apart from just delivery. I met so many women while I was working for like 5 to 6 years who would only go to a health clinic or health center when they had to deliver a baby. That is also because obviously ashas and A&M workers are working very hard, and they're making sure that there is institutionalized delivery. But I mean, obviously, in the last 6-7 years, also things have shifted a lot. But what that time I was talking about was the fact that women only visit a hospital or a community health center when they have to deliver a child. You know,
Yeah, true.
but
true.
other basic parameters of health were never taken into account, or women would not go for a toothache or a headache or fever to a hospital. I think this is that conversation. Also, mm, I mean, I'm not an expert in women empowerment in rural areas, but I think like Khushbu and I live in the city, right? We have that privilege. We have the privilege of choosing a profession, and I have a privilege of having a cafe and running it and being there and everything. I think we, as privileged women, set examples for somebody who's not privileged, but who can look up to us, and who can say to herself that I want to do that, I want to be that, and probably fight for that access to having a space of her own. And I think these discussions where where women like Khushbu and I are present, who have privilege, I think these spaces are also very important for other women, girls,
Absolutely.
to
Yes.
dream bigger. And I mean, obviously we should have more forums where women who don't have this privilege, women who in spite of living in the city don't have privilege, or women who are living in rural areas, they should have equal representation to voice their opinions, also to voice what they feel as well. And obviously that has to happen, but at the same time, women who have privilege should use their spaces very consciously, and should make sure they inspire other girls and other women to
Absolutely.
grab their space, to make sure that they go for what they want to achieve.
I mean,
Like,
every,
Add one more
Anmol,
thing, Mehraj.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you must have thought about who to invite for this discussion. It would have been nice if we would have had a male opinion also.
because
Yes.
the
They,
see,
and
there is a reason why I didn't invite it, and I have sent few invitations to people. They were busy with it, that I thought that I'll moderate it, I'll put across the point that I think that may be important to mention. So with this
Also,
women,
so Mehraj, do you see? I mean, it's a just because it is a discussion on women empowerment and women equality, men do not agree to come to the panel. It shows, it
it's no no
reflects
no
on
no
the problem itself.
there is not an issue that they didn't
busy right
they
now.
didn't accept the invitation. They were possibly busy with some other thing, because on the last day we were supposed to conduct this session, they were available.
That's fine. That's fine.
I thought that I'll rope them in. But then the simple thing is that every ideology or every movement for per se has a bottom line, that it's for the sake of the larger interest of the society, that we as humans, as individuals, have to strike a fine balance between
Absolutely, and women cannot fight for equality without men.
absolutely, we need each other for that. I mean, if there is some case that pertains to false allegations of sexual harassment, obviously women have to come and defend that, yes, this is not fair enough. And when there is an
No,
issue,
not just about false allegations. For a minute, we should leave aside the false allegations for a while and think about the greater aspect that a woman might need a simple support at home. Like, maybe she doesn't want to make tea at 5 in the morning. Maybe it's the
that
man
must
that
be that
who
that
can
must be
help.
normalized, that
That
must be
might be
normalized.
liberating for somebody so much we can't
Absolutely,
even
absolutely.
imagine.
I do agree with that. There are certain more important things, but then the issue is that most, I mean, some of the women may not agree with us as individuals who's in support of women empowerment and feminism. They are happy enough with the status quo that is at the helm. I mean, what to that? What to those women?
I feel really bad. Like there are people who might still think that equal representation is not important.
Hmm.
But I think that is because their purview has been limited, and they've been forced to think because of that, because of patriarchy and whatever they've seen in their households, etc. And
And it's a
but
pity, it's
I,
unfortunate for
yeah,
those people that they think like that.
yeah. But
Every society evolves.
राइट, आपको आपको जितना स्टिमुलस मिलेगा आप उतना ही सीखोगे, उतना ही देखोगे, राइट? हैव एन एजुकेशन, मैंने देखा कि भाई लड़का और लड़की पढ़ सकते हैं, कुछ बन सकते हैं, यू नो,
हाँ, so true.
whatever you are,
Means voicing your
whatever you are.
opinion is also important. A woman sometimes needs to stand up for herself, which she doesn't do. If she
Absolutely.
doesn't say, look, I want to do masters, I want to study, she has to say it for herself also.
I mean, the genuine debate for the women empowerment is yet still missing in the larger scheme of things in a society. We must conduct more debates. I mean, not only we, but the people who are out there who have privilege to speak, who have that sort of understanding of the things from the larger perspective. There needs to be to conduct more debates like that. But still, we have a taboo. Like, we don't talk about sex education. Yes, it must be part of the important part of the integral part of the curriculum system that we have. We still we just don't talk about most of the issues like menstrual hygiene, the health of the women, the other important things. It's not, I mean, we must also call out the objectifying of the women, but simultaneously we must also encourage that women be part of any forum, be part of any they must have equal representation. So the I will make one important point, that it's not an issue of uniformity. Women don't need to look like men. Women don't need to, I mean, wear like men so that they look fine. It's not about that. It's about,
Why not? Women should have the choice of wearing whatever
hold on. I'm coming to that point. I'm coming to that point. It must be important that being women is an important thing, equally important as being man is. So that's the bottom line that must be part of any discourse. So the last remarks from Khushbu on the gender issue and women empowerment. Importantly, some key things that we need to actually.
I think we pretty much discussed everything in short. But what I want to say is that it is very easy for people to say that they support women empowerment. It means a lot to support women empowerment. It means a lot even for modern men, or men whom you see as very liberal. It is very important to understand how deep this woman empowerment actually means. That to liberate a woman, to help her shed the burden that she's been carrying for so long, over the years, over centuries, and in her own life. It is very important for the man to treat the woman as equal, and it requires a lot of effort. And I think these efforts have to start from home. Discussions, gyan on TV or on radio or anywhere is only going to, is a temporary thing. If a girl feels secure and free in her own home to, uh, maybe she feels like going out taking a walk at 12 in the night, she should be able to do that. She should get a she should not be matlab, she should get a permission from home, just like the boy at home gets. She should not be teased outside, she should not be raped, she should be safe, and she should not feel scared. And what I think Anam will also agree to this. We've lived in cities where women feel so liberated. Like, you live in a city where nobody cares what you're wearing. I think once a woman goes to that city and feels that thing, she is never going to be the same again. She would want that in her life. It's a
Absolutely.
life changing experience. So, women should also stand up. These 3 4 points, pretty much, women should voice their opinion. They should stand up for themselves. Half of the times they don't, and men should support them in that. It's a simple thing. It has to start from home. That's it. You have to teach your boys how to be, how to not pass casual remarks at girls. It has nothing to do with education or
I mean,
class.
then I'll remember you. I'll just put this one thing that Arundhati Roy once said finally after this Nirbhaya episode, that when you are asking, you must not ask your women to wear clothes. You must ask your boys not to rape. Period. So
एब्सोल्युटली. तो या हम इतना थक चुके हैं ये वाली बात सुन के, ये जो आपने बोली. आई मीन इट इज इतना बार बार सुन सुन के यही एवरी टाइम दीज थिंग्स हैपन. बट द थिंग इज, इफ इट इज नॉट अबाउट एजुकेशन और क्लास, कोई भी अच्छे घर का लड़का भी लड़की को छेड़ता है,
mhm.
वो अपनी बहन को बाहर नहीं जाने देता. वो अपनी
So
वाइफ को कंट्रोल करेगा, वो अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड को कंट्रोल करेगा.
and Anam, your
ओके.
last words on that. After that, I'll wrap it up.
Okay, so in addition to what Khushbu has already mentioned, yes, everything starts from the household, and something as basic as लड़का और लड़की साथ में siblings खाना खा रहे हैं तो लड़के को leg piece डालना, मतलब छोटा सा example दे रही हूँ, but something as basic as that, you have to treat your children equally, which is how they'll understand what equality stands for. Also, एक चीज जो मैंने नहीं mention करी है and I want to focus on it is the importance of co-parenting. I think if the child is wailing at like 2 in the morning, I think the father should also get up. Something as basic as that. And बहुत छोटी सी age में, when a child sees that both his mother and father are involved in his growing up process, his caregiving process, I think it will make the child understand that they're equal partners and equality is an important cornerstone of a society. I think that a lot of onus lies on the parents on how they bring up a male child and how they bring up obviously a girl child also, but how they instill respect for women, showing affection, how they instill in a child, in a male child, that showing and expressing your emotions is okay. उसको दबा के अंदर एक एंगर पैदा करना उसकी कोई जरूरत नहीं है. यू कैन शो योर इमोशंस. आई थिंक उससे लड़का फिर काफी जल्दी इमोशनली मेच्योर हो जाएगा. अदरवाइज like men take I mean, I know so many men who are not emotionally mature, but a lot that I know who are very strong feminists are they're emotionally very, very mature. And I think uh, you know who understands somebody else's emotional consciousness, values somebody else's emotions, very important. Somebody who's as strong as that will not intimidate another woman, will not make another woman feel, will not make another woman feel less of a person for being a woman. So those are very important things, obviously. And I've already mentioned education, access to safe spaces, access to choices, making sure that women have that space to have their own opinions and own choices. I think that is very important. And खुशबू ने बोला कि हाँ, like women have to voice their opinions and their disagreements when they have one. But apart from that, the society, the elders of the society have to create an ecosystem for women, for little girls to
Be
like
heard.
spread their wings, to be heard, to make choices, to make mistakes and not be looked down upon, to have access to healthcare, to have access to education, to have access to an employment, not an employment, family, no family, divorce, marriage, child, no child, all of those choices. Women should be allowed to have the right to make their choice for their bodies and for themselves.
See,
Nobody else in the society should tell them कब बच्चा करना है, अब नहीं करना है, एक और करना है, अब 10 करने हैं. Nobody should have that opinion, like a woman's agency, her right to her body should just be hers. And I think that only the society as a whole, the elders, the men, all genders, everybody can ensure that. And only a woman alone cannot fight the battle. I think it is the
yeah,
entire ecosystem.
absolutely true. I mean, the last few things I'd like to mention from my side is that we have to importantly invest in education of women, the financial empowerment. We have talked about sex education in our schools at the higher levels, and I mean at the primary level even, so that children are not victim of sexual harassments. We have to debate more about the equality of the women also in a society. We have to give more legal protections. We have to give law its law's teeth. In most of the occasions it doesn't act, and the women who are crying for help, they get just they get raped at the end of the day. We have to have give them access to the they must be empowered to take decisions, to back them, to have their own choices. We have to also, and I'm rightly mentioned, that we have to create an ecosystem so that the women empowerment and women as a gender has to thrive on its own. But the last thing that I would like to mention as from my side is that we don't need alpha men in the society to lead it from the front. We also need women. As a society, we have a responsibility to call out where the injustice is done, to call out where the inequality is being carried out, where it's executed. We have to have more representation of women in the institutions, be that politics, be that administration, be it somewhere else. We also, the question remains that who will call out the women who do wrong to men? I mean, for another occasion, I'll just deal with that question with you. Thank you for coming to the show. Individually, I'm so much thankful to Khushbu because Khushbu and Anam both, they waited for this rescheduled session. It was supposed to, to be held last week, but it didn't. So seriously, thanks from my side, and on the behalf of the team of State of Affairs, thank you for participating in the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.